Alex here from Beaglington-On-Sea, and welcome back to the Beaglington Review. And in this episode, I'm going to be looking at this is the Hornby R60120 14 tank wagon in Mex Fuel livery. So I'm going to hand this over to Alex at the desk, and I'm going to open it up and see what it's like. Yes, thank you, Alex. Well, welcome back to the desk, everyone. And here we have the Hornby 14-ton tank wagon in Mex Fuel livery. So, as you can see, this was $25.99, and I paid that for it in Mark's Models in Cork on Oliver Plunkett Street. So, what can I say about this? Well, we'll start with the price, because $25.99 is about £22.40-ish, £22.50 maybe. The RRP for this, I think, on Hornby's website is $21.99. Olivia's Trains have it for $22. Hatton's had it for £19.79. And if you wanted a nice weathered version of it, I think they had 4 left on TMC. They were £34, but they're now £30.70, because I went and double checked a few prices. But overall, they're more or less the same price. This isn't that much more expensive than those prices, considering it's in another country. So overall, price seems pretty good. They're all roughly the same price wherever you go. So I'm going to open it up now and have a look. It's cold. Had a rain shower there. Oh, here's the end of the box, by the way. Just to remind you, it's the 60120. If you are interested. So Shellmex is the livery, and basically after the First World War, Shell acquired Bowring Petroleum Co., who owned the Mex trading name, and then in 1921 the Shell Marketing Company and the Anglo-Mexican Petroleum Co. became known as Shellmex Limited. So that's the livery that's on here. But in 1931 Shellmex merged with BP to sell their stuff elsewhere. They were two separate companies, but they were selling their stuff in different markets. They wanted Schuel, I guess, to sell their stuff elsewhere. But that was 1931. So this livery could have existed between 1921 and 1931, but I don't think this design of tank was made until something like 1927. So it's dated, I guess, between 27 and 31. But given that it's in a pristine livery, I guess that would make it nearer to 27. That's when this wagon type did come about. But, you know, anywhere, I suppose you could say the company existed from 1921. So you could have it then. But basically, firmly in the interwar years, the Big Four. I'm not entirely sure what region. I haven't had a chance to look at the small writing on here because it was in the box. The box seems to have some sort of weird snow on the inside, like dust. I'm not sure what that's about, but it's just, I don't know. Anyways, so let's put that over there. It's in the usual plastic packaging. And what's really quite interesting is that the filler cap and the tap and this little eyelet thing, which is actually really cool because you can see straight through it, they're all in white plastic, and the rest of it is all in black, and you've got metal axles and a very basic underframe. I don't know what kind of detailing these tanks would have underneath, but it doesn't have that. And these big tension lock couplings in, are they like the Airfix style pockets? I don't know if that has anything to do with the beginning of this tooling's life. So I don't know that much about this tooling. I haven't really got that many varied tank wagons, but I do know that Hornby had it in this tank in their range from about the year 2000 at least, in Royal Daylight livery, and then later in a really nice Esso livery. It was kind of like a yellowy, green, grey kind of livery with, like, I think blue and orange writing or something. So this is the Mex Fuel Oil Shellmex Limited version, and if I bring it up to the camera and change the focus, you'll be able to see it's got its frame detailed writing there. There we go. So it says Tear 1020, and there is a plate there, but I can't make out the writing on it just yet. I might be able to see it on the screen, and then over here we have this writing, which says, for repairs only to Shell Mex Limited, and then I can't, and then I think it says Shell, was it Borna or something underneath, and then Kingsway lines under that. So whatever that means. So yeah, it's a nice looking wagon. It's got nice riveting detail on it. Yeah, there we go. So it's a bit difficult because if anyone saw my video the other day, my tripod kind of melted, so it's difficult to get the camera to stay in one place, but never mind. So you've got these walkways, as you can see, and here they're pretty nice. Like I said, the filler cap and this is the little tap. You know, I don't know if that's a separately fitted thing or if they're just painted separately, but they're a nice little detail. The ladders are good, the wires are good. They seem to be installed the same way as the ones on my Roanoke tanker, which is a mainline model. We've got the ends there with the number 1244. So I'm going to get this in front of the little white screen thing that I've got over there and show you it again with that as the background and not all this bump. But there was something interesting I found when I looked up this model online, which is the description, which I didn't really understand. So I'll show you that and I'll go get this onto the white background. So yes, it's rather interesting on the Hornby website when you look at the R60120 14-ton tank wagon Mex Fuel Era 3, $21.99 order now it says, because when you scroll down, and it's got the picture there, accurate picture, and there's a picture of, I think, it on someone's layout. You scroll down here, and it says product info, of which there's none. But what's inside, it says, Hornby adds North Yorkshire Moors Railway organisational livery to a Mex Fuel oil tanker, combining the heraldry of the museum with a vital component of the railway. And I have no idea what they mean by that. Is there a Mex Fuel tanker at the North Yorkshire Moors Railway? There's nothing on the box, and there's nothing on the tank about the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. So it's a little bit perplexing to me that it's combining the heraldry of the museum of the North Yorkshire Moors Railway without featuring it at all in the product. So unless this is something that's there and you already knew it was there, the description doesn't really mean anything. And I thought that was a bit strange because this same product info is copied and pasted basically onto the product info section of it's weird because I clicked what's inside and this has come up for product info and it didn't come up before, but it's been copied and it's used on most of the other sites that have this wagon for sale. And I wondered, does anyone else read this and go, what on earth are they on about? So if anyone does know what this description is alluding to or what it means, comment down below because I don't have a clue. Yeah, so that description's a bit odd altogether. So what can I say about this wagon now before we go and test it? The tooling is dated because it's been around for a long time. The couplings are still the large type, so they really could do with redoing the chassis on this because it's fairly basic. It should have NEM couplings by now. The tank top detailing is quite cool. There's nice bands, there's nice rivets, but it's still lacking a certain finesse. It still looks very plasticky, you know. So on the one hand, it does look very nice, but on the other hand, you got to wonder how long will it be before we see another company go. I mean, we've seen other they're doing the A tanks and the B tanks. Will someone take on more of these smaller tank wagons? There's probably a few different nice liveries, like ones that have been done in the past, that could be done. But overall, a train of these, and if you had them weathered up, maybe with like some oily residue weathering done to them, or like the ones on TMC, and had a rake of them behind a dirty-ish looking Big Four goods engine, would probably look quite good, or marshaled in a siding somewhere. So I think if you weathered it, for instance, you take away that kind of plastic lookingness to it, because you'd add that kind of extra sort of colour. I don't know if you can get like a nice sort of oil spill residue kind of weathering that you could do down from the tank top down the side. That would be quite cool. The livery is fairly plain, but at the same time, it's a nice plain. I don't know if that makes much sense. It looks orderly. So I'm not doing a brilliant job of finding the right adjectives for that. So I'll just turn it round here, and you can see then the end again. And obviously it's got a very basic end with the buffers and things. And there is a hook at the end. So I don't know if you could attach the chain couplings that I have on some other wagons to that. But we're going to take it over now and see how free rolling it is. Which will probably be fairly free rolling with its metal axles, and it's not light, but it's not heavy. There's no real amount of weight to it. So it should roll quite well. And then I'm going to put it through the points test and see whether it derails and how it does coupled to other wide bar tension locks, and how it does with the NEM small type as well. So let's get it over to Beaglington-On-Sea and see how it performs. So you might notice that there's a line in the back garden of the pub. We might not, but if you have noticed it, well, it's the only line we could afford in Beaglington-On-Sea. So anyways, let's see how this goes. We'll do the third radius. Try to... Right. Well, that went all the way around to the other side. So that made it to the halfway point. And that was I was barely giving that a push, because I know how people feel about me throwing things around. Oh no, oh no. Appears to be a soldier's head on the railway. Oh yeah. It says one of my soldiers who's manning the guns defending Beaglington-On-Sea, his head has come off. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh well. I'll have to glue tack it back on, I suppose. Right, so that made it as far back as, you know, you see my hand there behind the railway. And we'll try it in the first radius. And that actually made it, believe it or not, to there, which is really good. And it's in the perfect place to do the points test. Right, so the first test will be coupling up, which will be done with the SR Terrier, because it's a Big Four locomotive that would have shunted. But unfortunately, the wagon has just rolled away from it. Possibly because it's so light and it's so free rolling. We're doing a good ram, and it just disappears off screen. Right. And it doesn't even, if I throw this at the Terrier, it just bounces off. Have I got a Hornby locomotive? Well, we'll take the D tank and we'll try that. So, you might hear I've got a bit of a cold. Well, that coupled perfectly, so obviously the wide bar tension locks work fine with that. So I was going to use the Terrier, and I will set up with the Terrier, but I think we're going to have to use the D tank for this. So they put you in with that. So that couples up fine. Now, I've got a solar fuel wagon. We'll try coupled up that. Yeah, that's fine. What about a NEM? Yes, it will do it, but it misses the hoop on the NEM side because it's narrow. And then we've got the mainline one, which, as I was saying, the tooling looks pretty much identical, except for the fact that the Hornby one has ladders. Other than that, I would say that they are identical. I mean, look at this, look. So I would say, yeah, they're pretty much the same tooling, except one has a ladder. And if you look at the underside, they do appear to have a different chassis. But the tank moulding itself is really, really similar. Going even like with the way that the metal railings go into the chassis. There's these little holes in it. But yeah, anyways, we'll see now. Again, just couple them up. Oh. Bit of a derailment there from the D-tank. Oh, oh. There we are. So, with that done, we shall put it through the points, and we can keep it on the track. And we'll try putting it through the other couplings. Yeah, no trouble there at all. So we'll just grab the solar fuel wagon. That's fine with that. We'll try it with the mainline tank next. Okay, that was unusual. Let's see if we can replicate that. I think that was the... Yeah, that's the mainline wagon, just seems to fall off here for some reason. So that might be the wagon pulling on that type of coupling. Which is handy to know if you're going to couple different aged versions of this wagon together and shunt them. Let's see if I can... Spooky, it didn't happen that time. No, a bit closer. Yeah, I think it's just the mainline wagon's a bit off for some reason. Right, Enium. Finally, we'll just marshal it into a train like that. Yeah, no issue whatsoever. Well, it's passed the points test, so I'm going to get it assembled into a train, and then we'll see it go around the railway, and maybe one or two other trains will go past as well. Must be slip coaches. How is it that the two trains that I set up for this review to run after the review for the nice shots at the end, both seems to have issues? Oh well. Absolutely no issues over here with the running of the Mex Fuel wagon, except for the occasional tap on the line. So yes, that was the Hornby R60120 14-ton tank wagon in Mex Fuel livery. Well, what are my conclusions? I suppose you could say it's a nice livery, if a little plain, a little simple, but still nice. The model, dated, obviously, because it's over 20 years old, possibly even more than that in a previous manufacturer's range. So, it's been around a long time, so the price, you know, hard to call it really, but overall, I think it's very nice. And if you had a rake of these, suitably weathered up, maybe oil dripping down so you can't see all of the number on each one to make them look like they've got different running numbers without actually having to go through and change the running numbers yourself, it would look quite good. I'm not sure whether you would want to keep the white, whether you want to make it a black filler cap on top as well to make it look all gungy and oily and dirty or whatever. But other than that, it's a very nice wagon. It's very free rolling, doesn't have any problem in the points or anything like that. So what you're paying for is a wagon that works, I guess. It would have been nice if it had been updated, because Hornby have updated some of their private owner wagons, like the open wagons, to have NEM coupling chassis. But, you know, yeah, I suppose you could probably change them out and get some NEM couplings fitted to it if you wanted to. And yeah, like I said, simple, but nice. Would I recommend buying one? Yeah, I suppose, if you wanted that livery. If you wanted some extra, slightly different rolling stock for the interwar years, it would be kind of cool. If you have a small fuel depot, for instance, on your railway. Yeah, nice. That's my review. Nice, I suppose. So anyways, thank you very much for joining us on the Beaglington review. And we hope to see you again for another one. I've been astonished by the amount of people who watched the last few reviews and the number of people who subscribed since. So thank you very much to everyone who has watched and subscribed and commented on those latest videos. And thanks to everyone who continues to like, share, subscribe and comment on my videos, because it's really cool that you do that. Hello, Spushbus. So hopefully I'll be back soon for another episode of Beaglington-On-Sea. And I still need to get that other Beaglington review done and my other projects as well. So we'll see you again for another video, and you've been a wonderful audience. I've been Alex, he's been Alex at the desk. Thank you! And he's been Smallpuss. So until next time, ta-ra! Oh, and don't forget there's also the playlist thing and the subscribe thing. Goodbye!